Rams, right in the thick of it. Jets, not. But I will say the Jets also aren't necessarily like playing for a draft pick at this point. Like they're playing for this current regime. You know, I was saying this a couple of weeks ago. The Jets have something to play for in the sense that if they look really bad over this last month, like if they look really bad in December, they're gonna clean house completely, like with the roster. They're gonna.
Right.
Not that I think they'll get rid of everybody. I don't know how much flexibility they have there, but certainly the Aaron Rodgers era will be over. You go back to last week, team played pretty damn well and got that victory. And even the week before, they played well. Both the receivers had over 100 yards. I mean, that's the version of the offense that you want.
Right.
So it has been looking better for them lately. And I think the next 3 games mean a lot to the current players that are on the New York Jets as to whether or not they will be there next year. And I think there's a lot of them, I think Rodgers included, like wants to be back with the Jets next season. So this is a matchup where you're going up against a team that's desperate for a win. They really want to keep pace with everything that's going on in the NFC West and the Los Angeles Rams, and you get to host them. So what are you made of, essentially? What's your matchup that matters here?
Well, it's based off of what happened last week, which is it's too little, too late. Maybe like what you're talking about here. Where are you playing for this regime? I guess it's not too late in that regard. But Rodgers and Devonte Adams looked like the Rodgers and Devonte Adams in the green and gold, not the green and white. And it was when you're going up against the Rams, so it's Devonte Adams versus the Rams coverage unit because the Rams have a 56.9 coverage grade that ranks 22nd in the league. So you feel like, all right, there's probably an opportunity here if you're the New York Jets, or on the flip side of things, if you're the Rams, basically just shut down Devonte Adams, who 9 catches for 198 yards last week, 2 touchdowns if you missed it. It was his 18th career game with over 100 yards and over 2 touchdowns. And
That's
it's a lot. It's a lot. He's a great receiver. We all forget because, he was in purgatory in Las Vegas. But like, if you, it's someone who grew up watching the Bears and then therefore watching the Packers decimate them.
I could also never forget because he's the reason why I'm in the fantasy football championship this week. Because he scored me 42.4 points.
How many points?
Because he got me 42.4 last week. So I could never forget how good Devonte Adams is personally.
He's had 3 games now with a receiving touchdown from Aaron Rodgers. So like they're getting back into their groove. And he's had 2 games with 9 or more catches and 100 or more receiving yards. So like he's been in triple digits for the last 2 games. He's gotten a receiving touchdown in the last 3. This is something that I think Jets fans wanted to see immediately, and that didn't quite happen. But you're right. This is kind of playing for next year at this point. And if the Jets are going to give the Rams trouble, it's going to be with these 2. So just shut that down. You'll be fine, Rams.
I think that is the matchup that matters. You could expand it a little bit further, just the wide receivers. Devonte had a great week last week, but Garrett Wilson's in this mix as well. When you look at the Rams cornerbacks, you're right. They've really struggled this season. Darius Williams and Ahkello Witherspoon on the outside. Darius Williams, a 59.4 coverage grade this year. Ahkello Witherspoon, a little bit better, 62.3. But last week, the rain helped, right? Rain always helps the defense. But last week, Williams, 77.1 coverage grade, Witherspoon 66.8, so a little bit better from that group. Again, is this sort of a momentum thing, or was it just a one-time thing? Hey, the weather was really helping you out because San Francisco couldn't pass the football at all whatsoever last week. So maybe that is the case, but played a little bit better last week, and we'll see. Because you're right, the Jets offense, they're really humming. I have 2+ factors, so I'm curious if
I probably have one of the same then.
If one of you, so I will let you go first because if you say one of them, then I will seamlessly just say the other, and people will never know. So who's your plus factor here?
I mean, I took the low hanging fruit here, which again, like if the goal of this game is for the Rams to again stay in contention of the playoffs and in the NFC West and all of that kind of stuff, then you're gonna need Cooper Kupp and you're gonna need Puka Nacua, and if you kind of in tandem, just the Rams receiving core, top 10 unit in the league, 83.1 receiving grade overall. They rank 9th, I believe, in EPA per play, expected points added per play, and that's something that is just you're going up against a Jets team which isn't bad in coverage. The 12th ranked coverage grade. but that's been something that teams have just very much struggled with. Again, with Matthew Stafford getting rid of the ball as quickly as he can and having both of those guys. I think it's a low hanging fruit, but that's the matchup that matters to me.
So I wasn't going to name either of them. My
Oh,
two
wow.
are actually
Okay. All right. Great.
Jets players, but one of them has to do with it. I am looking forward to see how Sauce Gardner plays because it's been a struggle of a season for him. But last week he was targeted 7 times, only gave up 1 catch, had an interception and a forced incompletion last week. So Sauce played well last week, I think, and him versus Puka Nacua, I think is going to be really fun. Sauce has not had a great year, and I'm sure he's just been down because of it. When things aren't going well for you as a corner, it's tough. It's tough mentally. It's tough to really get motivated for it. You just feel like you're just like not on your A game. But Nacua is sort of one of those matchups that you see, you get the circle, you go, okay, this is the guy that everybody talks about around the league. Right. I've been one of the best corners in the NFL over the previous 2 seasons. Let's get back at it. I don't have to have a good season to be able to have one good game here. Let's shut him down. And
anybody can have a good game.
Right. Let's end the year on a high note. And I wonder if we get to see that from Sauce. So he's a plus factor for me. My other bonus plus factor was Olu Fashanu. Olu, 78.6 pass blocking grade over the last 3 weeks, only allowed 5 sacks, 3.8 pressure percentage. So Olu, I think, is really growing into his own, and he's playing well in a rookie season where we weren't sure if we were going to see him. And Tyron Smith the age is catching up to him. So we've seen Olu in that lineup, but it's been good. I think it's been really good for him to get that experience. He looks like the future left tackle for the New York Jets moving forward. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe the video. And if you don't have a PFF Plus subscription, you can get one to see all the premium stats that we talked about here on the show, plus the expert betting and fantasy advice over at subscribe.pff.com. The description is also right below. So if you are not a PFF Plus subscriber, you can come one today.